Is it possible to find a buried treasure chest without ever using the map? Yes. Before we can use this strat, we have to understand when to use it. Mapless treasure is typically used when first spawning into a world on either a coastline or an island, and it can turn a relatively bad spawn into a great one. To begin looking for the treasure, you want to first lower your render distance to about 5. This will make it so that we aren't picking up random chests that are hundreds of blocks away. Then, we need to set up the pie chart so that it will show us nearby chunks that contain chests. To set it up properly, you want to press the numbers beside these following words: Game Renderer, Level, Entities. If you're familiar with Pyrray, you're probably used to pressing Tick instead of Game Renderer. The difference is that Tick will show block entities anywhere around you, while Game Renderer only shows block entities that are on your screen. And you'll see why this is important in a second. But now that we have everything set up, we can actually put it into practice. So the first thing I'm going to do is press F3 and G on my keyboard so that I can see chunk borders around me. And then I'm going to look at the pie chart, and you can see that block entities in the orange, there is actually a little spike there. This basically means that there is a block entity somewhere around us, but it will spike up to be a much bigger number once it's on our screen because we're using Game Renderer. So the next thing I'm going to do is pick a direction, either left or right, and you will want to remember which direction you pick, and then we are going to slowly spin in that direction, and I am looking for when this spikes up. So I'm just going to slowly spin to the right, like this, and then right there you can see that it spikes up. And you're going to see it will continue getting bigger, but it doesn't matter, you just want to see when that initial spike happens. So now that we've hit this spike, I don't want to move or anything, and I just want to remember where the right side of my screen is. So I'm just going to kind of look at where these blocks are so that I can use that as a reference. And now I'm going to turn and face those blocks. So these are the blocks I was just looking at, and I'm going to be in line with them and then start moving forward. And essentially what we are looking for is to be on the right side of a chunk corner. The reason for this is because the Game Renderer doesn't actually need the chest itself to be on your screen, but just the chunk that the chest is in. So this means as we're slowly turning around, as soon as that little piece of the chunk corner hits our screen, the pie chart is going to spike. So if you're spinning to the right, you'll see that this little triangle is on the right side of the chunk corner, and if you're spinning to the left, then that little triangle would be on the left side of the chunk corner. So now that we're back in game, I'm just going to move straight forward along that same path, and you can see I am now on the right side of a chunk border. I am a little bit far away from the corner of it, but this is also in the middle of the island, and the chest is not going to spawn here. And so if I just continue moving the way that I was before, it is much more likely. As you can see, I'm very close to this corner, which is what you should be, as well as this is a very likely spot for the chest to spawn on the edge of the island. All we have left to do is look at our chunk coordinates, and you can see I'm currently at 667. We can just ignore this middle number. This is our height. It doesn't really matter. But we want to get to 99. And if you didn't know, a buried treasure will always spawn on 99. And so right there, this block is 99 within the chunk, and if I just dig straight down, we have found the chest. And that is how to find a buried treasure without the map. If you guys enjoyed this video, click somewhere on screen to watch another one, but as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.